What's up, everybody? Welcome to RossonARI TV for another edition of Tactical Solutions. Today's focus is going to be that amazing game that we saw yesterday, Atalanta Milan. Milan winning 2-3, a result that doesn't even reflect the game. Those two goals that Atalanta got, maybe not deserved, but first of all, let's say hi to everybody that is here. We got Joel, what's up, my man? We got Skiller, we got Moab, we got Saif, we got Tick Size. Yes, what's up, guys? How's everybody doing? We have Easeborn in the house. Welcome, guys. Today is going to be an interesting it's going to be an interesting stream today because we're going to be talking about a complete dichotomy from last game. We got Milanista. How you doing, my friend? How's it going? Totti Brotta. What's up, my man? How's it going, my man? How you doing? We got Nathan in the house too. What's up? Yes, sir. So crazy dichotomy from a game that produced so many negative emotions to a game that produced many positive emotions. And that was a fantastic thing to experience. It's awesome to be living in this moment. Us as Milan fans watching our team right now emerge from the ashes that it has been in for such a long time and coming out, for now at least, on top. Speaking of which, guys, I do have a poll in the chat, which I'm going to end at the end of the stream. Is Milan a title contender? 100% yes. Too soon to say. No, Napoli and Inter are better. Milan just needs to focus on top four. So we'll see what the chat votes by the end of the stream. So, guys, make sure you go and vote there. And also, guys, please like the stream and all that good stuff, because apparently that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to like the stream to help the channel grow and all that good stuff. Joel says, right away, referee tried to rob us. So correct. This is an awesome moment for our club. Yes, sir, Tick Size. It really is. It really is. And I really cannot remember the last time I have been able to say, we have been able to say, wow, Milan can actually win a trophy this year, like the Scudetto. Milan can actually win the Scudetto. But, guys, even though Milan is looking very good right now, and it does look like there is a difference from last year. And I think I was reading a chat, and someone said it too. I think it was Moab that said it. We do not have the lack of depth that we had last year. Last year, it was evident that we had a lack of depth, and it was evident that we were missing players. And also, another thing that we have to admit is this, that not admit, just acknowledge that the players that played last year were all youngsters, 21, 20, 21. Our team is composed of under 21s primarily. So of course, these players now with 1 year more of experience, 1 year more of looking back and going back to different moments in their lives in order to correct mistakes from the past, and them just growing physically, technically, tactically. Obviously, the team is better. And, of course, the depth. Speaking of depth, yesterday we saw for the first time Messias. Right away from the get-go, Messias puts himself in a situation, in a headlining kind of situation. The penalty that was given was due to a really good slide tackle that he and Tomori did together in order to block a shot. Unfortunately, the ball ricocheted off his arm. Difficult decision for the ref, but it was a penalty. So, and that was the first goal that Atalanta scored. Really, a goal that maybe Atalanta did not deserve to score. I think Milan in the game, aside from that little blemish, was defending really well with some huge plays. We had Tomori with an incredible tackle in the small box. against Pessina. That tackle he did against Pessina was so world class, so world class. It is not even funny. And then we had Tonali saving after Zapata was able to get through the defense and take that shot, a diagonal shot. You had Magnan, who also had a great game, saving that ball. The ball, though, deflects in the middle, and then you have Tonali coming in the slide tackle, covering, blocking the shot. So we had some incredible defensive displays yesterday from individual players, but also as a team, the way our shape looks. Of course, guys, this is Tactical Solutions. We're going to be talking about shapes. We're going to be talking about tactics, and we're going to get to that. But the shape looks difficult to break down. Everybody is doing their job correctly in covering the channels and making sure that the opponents don't break through. But also, guys, let's also really admit it. Let's admit one thing. If you really want to be honest, Atalanta has become a pretty predictable team. It's become a pretty predictable team. We saw yesterday that pretty much Atalanta, there's this magnet called Zapata, and the ball just goes there. And because Zapata likes to play on the wing, they're going to go for that wing. And when you're on the wing, there's not many options. You can only go, Zapata was on the left wing. So once you're on the left wing, you can only go either right or forward. So it restricts Atalanta's game, the fact that they always play towards Zapata, and it also makes it pretty predictable. Of course, when they had Pessina on the pitch and Malinowski, all three in that attacking, the game, Atalanta was definitely used the right wing a little bit more and the centrally, but even then, the game kept on going towards the left. So you have to admit that Atalanta has become a predictable team. They have become a predictable team. And today, the key word, guys, is predictable. Predictable. Guys, listen to these words. Predictable is a weakness in football. When your team is predictable, you know how to defend against them. So Pioli did his homework really well. And he put Kjaer on Zapata. Kjaer with an incredible performance on Zapata. Just on him the whole game, psychologically dominating, physically dominating, spatially dominating. The battle there was definitely won by Kjaer. Then you had Calabria helping it out. And then when Zapata moved to the middle, Tomori took care of Zapata. So Zapata last night, who is the focal point of Atalanta, had a really, really difficult game. And that's what you want. You want to make sure that the focal points of your opposition have a very difficult game, minimize the danger. But even though Zapata had 2 clean shots on goal, he had a header from a corner kick, which Magnin saved in an incredible way, just a super strong header. Maybe a little bit too clean, went straight into Magnin's position, but Magnin with quick reflections, deflecting the ball out. And then he had another shot diagonally that Magnin saved, and then Tonali kicked out. So offensively, that was Atalanta. And if that's your offense, you're easy-ish kind to defend. Now, the problem with Atalanta is that Atalanta knows how to hold the ball really well. They know how to possess the ball. They know how to find the spaces. Their movements were really nice and creative. So a really good thing about this game, which is kind of very, let's say, positive for the Champions League. This was a Champions League game. And even though I don't want to say Milan had dominion over Atalanta yesterday, because Atalanta could have been dangerous anytime. We weren't really stopping Atalanta in the midfield. We were stopping Atalanta once they got to their strikers. But we did it brilliantly. And psychologically, we destroyed them. Psychologically, AC Milan yesterday was capable of destroying a team that goes to Europe and beats huge teams. A team that for the past 3 or 4 years has been one of the best teams in Italy. A team that right now maybe has been the most innovative team as far as offensive play and just playing football. So this is a great accolade for AC Milan right now, which tells us where AC Milan is right now. Where is AC Milan? AC Milan right now in Italy fears no one. We fear no one. And this year, for the first time in many years, I can confidently say Milan can fight for the Scudetto. Last time I said that must have been 7-8 years ago. Now, can you really say Milan can fight for the Scudetto? Well, first of all, let's also be realistic about it. We're only 7 games in. In 15 games, 20 games, everything can be completely different. So I am saying confidently Milan can fight the Scudetto, but I am also aware that in a marathon like the Scudetto race is, because the Scudetto is not a marathon, it's a sprint. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And during marathons, the first positions can be occupied by many people. And then really what counts is the last quarter. The last 10 games, the last 5 games, who is forward there in the marathon, those are going to be most likely the winners. So, it's just the beginning of the marathon. And in this beginning, Milan has gotten himself forward pretty well. They have accumulated, pretty much, they're at -2. -2 from all points they could have won so far. Napoli at 21, 7 games out of 7. That is indicative record there. Now, again, Napoli, let's see, guys. Napoli could start to lose some games, and maybe the psychology breaks down. That is really the issue. What happens when you lose a few games? Are you able to recover psychologically and get back into the mix and compete and get back to your normal self and win games again? Or do you retract? Or do you close yourself into your psychological doubts and your worries, and then you keep on losing more and more games? So that could happen to Napoli, because Napoli does have a history of that. Because Napoli has a very, very unpredictable owner who likes to really go after his coaches if the coaches don't do what he wants them to do. So Napoli right now doing a great job, doing an absolute great job in winning, but we'll see once they start losing, and we'll see how De Laurentiis reacts to Spalletti. Then, of course, we have Inter. Inter is the biggest problem. Inter cannot win the Scudetto this year. If Inter wins the Scudetto this year, guys, they get a 2nd star on their shirt. And to me, that is a blow like hell. Like, I do not want to live the rest of my life hearing Inter fans telling me that they won that 2nd star before us. It's a race. It's a race for that 2nd star. So we need to make sure that we fight for the Scudetto, guys. It's not a matter can we fight. It's a matter we must fight. We must fight for the Scudetto. We cannot lose that battle. So the timing is perfect, guys. The timing is just perfect. The year that Inter could possibly win the Scudetto, they're still a very competitive team. They're one Scudetto away from the 2nd star on the shirt, is the same year that Milan can fight for the Scudetto. Guys, Milan is alive in this battle. And we have a very long battle ahead of us. It's going to be an amazing season. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be an incredible battle. All right. So before we get into the tactics and all that good stuff, let's read a few comments, see what our friends are saying. I'm going to go from down to up. Apparently, being a Milan fan means something to Donnarumma. Donnarumma, guys. What's going on with Donnarumma? So he had a pretty bad game on the weekend. Guys, explain this to me. How does PSG with Di Maria, Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe not even take one shot on goal? That is I think that is close to 100 million in wages. Just those four players, something like that. I mean, net, gross. Who knows? Who knows how much that is? And those players not being able to take a shot on goal, and a goalkeeper that you're paying a lot of money, 2 goals and a yellow card. Pochettino has to be careful. Pochettino has to be careful because I think when you're spending that kind of money, the coach is the one that everybody's looking at. It's like you said, Roy. Teams need balance. Absolutely, absolutely, guys, and that is just a fact. It is a fact that we can't even deny anymore. I mean, and we never could have denied. We saw it with Ancelotti. You need Gattuso on the field. You cannot play with Seedorf, Kaká, Pirlo, and Rui Costa. You have to take Rui Costa out and put Gattuso on the field. And we saw it in 2007. You can't play with Pirlo, Seedorf, Gattuso, Kaká, Inzaghi, and Gilardino. You have to take the striker out and put Ambrosini in, because you need that balance. You need the ugly player. You need the ugly player to that does the work that all the superstars tend to not know how to do, tend to not even have in their natural way of playing. And absolutely 100%, you need balance, guys. Balance is the most important thing in any team. And PSG, with an offense like that, like none of those attackers defend. Neymar doesn't defend. Messi doesn't defend. Mbappe doesn't defend. I mean, of course they defend, they come back. But when I'm saying defend, I'm saying really defend, like winning balls in the middle, intercepting channels, and body to body, playing the ugly game. Those players do not play the ugly game. Those players know how to play the beautiful game. And that's why they get the big bucks. But you need the ugly players in order for your beautiful game to be successful. That is a fact. That is a fact. And we're seeing it with Salamakers in our team. Salamakers being a player that, everybody kind of hates. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people kind of, they don't want Salamakers because they think Salamakers doesn't produce enough offensively. The quality is not fair. But Salamakers is an important is an important keystone in the balance of the team, because his work in AC Milan is outrageous. It's outrageous. The player that Salamakers is turning out to be seems like a player that is going to really go far in his career. So Salamakers is a fantastic, fantastic football player. 21 years old, just 21. And the guy, well, actually now he just turned 22, and right now in AC Milan's attacking midfield, winning his spot, winning big games in Italy, playing good football in Europe also. So very good for Salamakers. Very good for Salamakers. And he is improving. The quality is improving. This year we're starting to see, we saw a Ronaldinho moment when Salamakers got in the Spezia game. That was literally a Ronaldinho moment. And then he had a huge assist he had 2 assists. He had assist in the Venezia game, I believe, and in the Spezia game. So we're talking about a player that right now is really earning his spot. Let's see. Roy, can we address a serious point? Do you believe Milan play better with a false 9? Having Rebic run like that puts pressure on opposition, lets us play our game. Giroud won't do that. That's a really good question. That is a very, very good question by Totti Brotta, because it is true. When you have Rebic on the field, you have more depth, right? Because with a Rebic, you can kick the ball into space, and then Rebic will chase the ball into that space, and he's got the athleticism, he's got the speed, he's still a youngster, he's only 27. So that is a very important aspect of our game in order to pressure the team. Also, guys, talking about Rebic, let's look at his performance yesterday. Okay, yesterday it wasn't his greatest of performances, but tactically his performance was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But not only with the ball, but without the ball. Without the ball, guys, do you remember? Just think back with your with your photographic memory. Think back when Rebic is chasing the goalkeeper, when the ball is in possession of the goalkeeper, and Atalanta are building from the back, and Rebic is running at the goalkeeper at full speed, just sprinting at full speed towards the goalkeeper, putting pressure on the goalkeeper. And then the goalkeeper, and in that moment, the goalkeeper needs to play a little bit faster. And in playing a little bit faster, he passes the ball to the defender. And as Rebic is chasing the goalkeeper, Leao is chasing the target of the goalkeeper. And all of a sudden, Atalanta found themselves surrounded by Milan players in their defensive posture. And so Rebic is the guy that starts that. Rebic is the guy that starts that. Does Ibra do that? I don't know. Can he do it at that intensity? I'm not sure. Can Giroud do it? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe Giroud could possibly do it a little bit better than Ibra. But those are important aspects of being able to press a team and close down a team and not making making it difficult for that team to play. Now, Atalanta has really good feet, so even if you press them high, you can force them to play difficult. But sometimes, because if you're a very technical team, you can get the difficult stuff done, and many times we were able to intercept the ball, but other times Atalanta was able to go through the press, but always in a methodical way, not in a dangerous way. The rest of the field was always covered really well. It's a really good question, Totti Brata. But on the ball, it's a completely different story, and it's a really completely different story when it comes to Ibrahimovic, because Ibrahimovic on the ball is a genius. He's a genius on the ball. His technical ability to distribute and be a regista from the offensive in the offensive half is second to none. It's second to none, guys. Because not only he has the ability to distribute the ball from left to right and find the player, slow down the game and play creative football, but he has the physique to hold back defenders, similar to Zapata. But the difference between Zapata and Ibrahimovic is that Ibrahimovic is bigger, stronger, and more technical, and Ibrahimovic plays central. So Ibrahimovic has a 360-degree scope of the field when you give him the ball. But a player like Zapata in Atalanta only has a 180 scope. So there's a little bit more limits there tactically. So honestly, guys, at the end of the day, I would say Ibrahimovic, if Ibrahimovic is fit, you play him. So Giroud is good for nothing. Well, Giroud on the other hand, when he is fit, what he is very good at is finding he does find depth really well, by the way, and he finds the pockets of space. He runs into those pockets of space really well, in which you can find him with an assist, with a cross in a corner, and with one touch, the guy can put the ball in the bottom left, right corner. You know, he can do whatever he wants in the one-touch volley game, whether it's with the head, whether it's with his feet. So Giroud is and also Giroud, when fit, is a very good target man. He's not as precise nowhere near as precise as Ibrahimovic in his target play, in his layoff game. But he's kind of similar to Rebic, I would say. Rebic and Giroud in their layoff game are kind of similar, I would say. But Ibra is a whole different story. If you have Ibrahimovic, you play him. If you have Ibrahimovic on the field, you play him all the time. All right, guys. So a few more comments, and let's move to some tactics. What is the news on Ibra's recovery? So as far as we know, Ibra is good right now, but they're going to wait till the break, and he should be good for the break. So Pioli, in his post-match interview, said that Giroud and Ibrahimovic should be good to go once the break comes back. And he's looking forward to it. Giroud is also a hard worker player. He runs and helps teammates to get forward. Don't forget, Giroud is a World Cup winner. Yeah, absolutely. Giroud is a great team player, and he does have a really good ability to create space for his teammates and do a really good job. Mohamed Kassim, Roy, Tonali in the Italy team, I read he won't be joining anymore. Well, no, Tonali is needed for the under 21s because the under 21s have a huge task in front of them. They have to qualify for the Olympics, so they have 2 games that they have to win. And right now, even Mancini said it. Right now, they have to make sure that the people that are qualified, the best players that are qualified for under 21, are going to stick with under 21. So Tonali of the under 21 is a great experience for him. And Gabbia. I think Gabbia is probably there too. And Colombo, guys. Colombo scoring some crazy goals with Spal. Guys, Colombo, guys, watch out for Colombo. His left foot is insane. Just scoring these curlers from outside the box, around the goalkeeper in the top left corner. I mean, these are the kind of goals that Messi scores, guys. We're seeing Colombo doing it in Serie B with Spal, so good for him. Colombo also in that under 21. I'm pretty sure he's going to be in that under 21. Then I don't know if Pobega is still part of under 21. I think he is. And I think Gabbia is a part of under 21. That under 21 right now has some huge tasks. Very important. It's going to be great for Tonali's experience as a football player. And it's going to be really helpful for him once he moves on to the seniors. But Tonali has proved to be a senior player. Congratulations on Calabria for getting into the national team. This is going to be a great experience for him. I don't think we're going to see much of him, but it's still a good experience for him to be part of the expedition. I want to see Giroud and Ibra partnership. That would be interesting, huh? An Ibra-Giroud partnership. It would be very interesting. Would you drop Rebic next game for or two? Guys, I mean, dropping Rebic right now. The problem, okay, so when in the post-match, when Pioli was asked, is it going to be a problem when you're going to have so many offensive players to choose from? Because right now the choice is pretty simple. You don't have many choices because of the injuries, so you know who you're going to choose. And Pioli said, no, he can't wait for it because each player is going to give him different solutions, and based on the game, based on how any game would be going, he can have different solutions. So he likes having the options. Pioli likes having the option of having a Giroud, Ibra, Rebic, Pellegrini. You can even put Leao up top. You can put Brahim Diaz as a false 9. You can put Macias as a false 9. So Milan has a lot of options when it comes to that. I don't understand why Mancini prefers Di Lorenzo over Calabria. Well, I think Di Lorenzo... Di Lorenzo has shown to be also a fantastic fullback, honestly, guys. He did prove to be capable of playing in a team that won the Euros. Right now, he's unbeaten in the Serie A. Di Lorenzo is earning his spot. Let's also be honest about that. Roy, what would you say that Lorenzo Pellegrini should start for Italy player of the season so far for me? That's another thing. Mancini is going to have a lot of the question marks because Pellegrini, how would you keep Pellegrini out? But how can you keep Barella out? How can you keep Jorginho out? How can you keep Verratti out? How can you keep Insigne out? How can you keep Chiesa out? Maybe you could put Pellegrini on the left. Maybe what you can do is put, let's see, you can put Insigne on the right, Chiesa in the middle, or Pellegrini in the middle to play a false 9, and then Chiesa on the right. Maybe you can use Pellegrini in the top 3 since Immobile is not going to be there. We have a Bologna, Verona, and Torino mid-table teams need max points. Oh, are those the next games? Bologna, Verona, and Torino. Roy, my boy, sweet boy, what's up? I'm Lord Krunic. I know that we do have a Tour de Force coming up, which is going to be Roma, Porto, Inter, I believe. I think we should bring back Pobega next season. Yes, I agree with you. Italy looking good coming into next World. Yeah, Italy is looking good coming into next World Cup for sure. We're going to just spend a little bit of time on this, and then we're going to move to tactics. So Italy has a complete squad. They don't have what maybe the only issue for Italy keeps on being the center forward. Immobile has to do what he does in Italy. He has to do it outside of Italy. That is the only problem. But we have solutions because we saw in these, for the people that were watching in these past 2 or 3 games, Chiesa was deployed as a center forward, and Chiesa as a center forward, scored against Chelsea, created an assist for Locatelli in the derby. So Chiesa can be a center forward, and Chiesa is not just any player. Chiesa is most likely probably the best Italian forward there is right now. We have a possibility to bring Ali back from his loan in the winter, right? Or is it a man? Well, they're talking about it. I think a lot of it depends on Kessie. I think it's going to depend on Kessie. By the way, there were reports that came out that Tangana, the agent of Kessie, was at the game yesterday in Bergamo, and some journalist asked him about contract situations, and he said, ask the management. He kind of gave that answer, but then he kind of gave a different answer, like maybe didn't. It was a weird kind of segment that happened there. But I guess the feeling that is coming out from the agent and right now is that we're still negotiating. We're still negotiating. And guys, let's do this. Let's just finish on Kessie, and then let's finally move to these damn tactics. Kessie. Guys, I was part of the group of people that was saying Kessie, his problem is his mind, is his psychology. He feels embarrassed, the contract and all that, and that's what hurting his game. And that's what I kind of went with, because that's what it seems like. That's what my speculation led me to believe. But after hearing Pioli being asked these questions and hearing Pioli's answer to these questions, what is going on with Kessie, I can see it now. And Pioli to me looked honest. He didn't look like he was making stuff up. And he's saying, Kessie, look, these things about contracts is normal part of our profession. It happens all the time. Kessie, what is important to me now? I'm speaking in Pioli's words. What is important to me is that Kessie at training is a professional and works hard and keeps on being the leader that he is. And he's saying that is what he's doing. That in training, Kessie is no different than he's ever been. He's an absolute professional and doing doing his job like a professional should do. Therefore, and then he said that the only issue with Kessie, because of certain injuries and events, he's just not 100%. He's not 100% yet. It's just a matter of physical form. And then you see his performance the next day, because this was the pre-match conference. Then you see his performance the next day, and you'll say, well, okay. I mean, it's right. And also, big props to Pioli, because he kind of shut down the flame of the media propaganda that was going up against Kessie. So Pioli did a really good job of being the fireman there. Also, maybe that also helps Kessie's psychology and his relationship with the fans. It definitely did something to me, because now I see the situation differently. I knew that Kessie, as we all know, Kessie might leave for free. Okay, but if he does leave for free, c'est la vie. That's the way the cookie crumbles. What is important to us fans, and to Milan, is that even if this is the last year Kessie stays with AC Milan, that he gives his 100%, that he even goes beyond what he did last year. Be a professional, do that, and that seems like that's what he's doing. If you do that, then I will salute you if you go, and I'll remember you with a lot of respect. Really, that's the only thing that I can say about Kessie based on the information that we have right now. Do we sell Kessie in January? Yes or no? If Kessie is playing like this, if Kessie plays like the Kessie that we know, and he goes even a level up, hell no, we don't sell him. We keep him till the end, because who are you going to get? Who are you going to get that can do what Kessie does? And yesterday, guys, we did not see the Kessie. we saw remnants of last year's Kessie, but his statistics were really good. He did lose a few balls that he wasn't supposed to lose, and that is something, that still tells that he's not 100%. But his ball recovery, he had, I think, like 4 or 5 ball recoveries. His passing percentage was really good, up in the 80%. His positional play, he played a whole 90 minutes, consistent throughout the whole 90 minutes. So he did all the right things in the right moments. But of course, the Kessie that we know is a Kessie that dominates the field, a Kessie that does plays that inspire his teammates. And we still haven't seen that Kessie yet, but we are going to see that Kessie. Pioli is 100% confident that Kessie is just a few games away. Yes, Safe. Unfortunately, it is true. From a tactical standpoint, we cannot afford to lose Kessie. We'll lose Kessie for a whole of January. Got to get used to life without him. Yeah, January, right. And I think I read someone else wrote in the chat, Napoli is losing a lot of players in January as well. Zion Train, what's up? Renato Sanchez and Boubacar Kamara can replace Kessie easily. As a matter of fact, Renato Sanchez outplayed Kessie and Benacer. He dominated both of them. Renato Sanchez is an expert youngster, because he's still a youngster, and he is the best Portuguese deep line midfielder, 100%. And honestly, I'll be honest with you, Zion Train, I don't understand why he's not in AC Milan right now. Penalties, physique, high IQ, in tight moments, personality, all in one player. I'm praying he stays. Yeah, I agree. After we lost 99, nothing can break me. Anyone is replaceable. What's up, Mustafa? How you doing? Lavs Marts. I would love a Renato Sanchez, a brilliant guys. I really love the way Renato Sanchez plays. Napoli are more screwed than us in January. No Osimhen, no Anguissa, no Koulibaly. Wow, guys, those are 3 huge. That's literally the center. That is the spine, the tactical spine of Napoli. Koulibaly, the central defender. Anguissa, the central defensive midfielder. Osimhen, the center forward. Really, Napoli there, they do have some interesting replacements. They have Petagna, but he's no Osimhen. And they have Manolas, obviously Manolas, and the other guy, they're nowhere near to Koulibaly. And Anguissa has been shown to be an excellent replacement of our own Bakayoko. So, yeah, really, really good, smart and good buy by Napoli there with Anguissa, because I've seen him play, and he looks like he belongs in the Serie A. Like, looks like he's always played there. At least we have Tonali and Lord Krunic. Guys, Lord Krunic, I really hope that Krunic does not have a dip in form. I want Krunic to continue where he left off, because he was looking solid. He was looking very good, very confident in that midfield, the way he just managed the ball in a very nonchalant way, and literally just looking at his opponents, the movements of opponents, and just putting his body and the ball in the right spaces, just completely extinguishing the pressure. Krunic had some brilliant moments like that, and his work rate is maybe him and Salamakers are the 2 players with the highest work rate on average per game. Renato is coming from a nasty injury, but Boubacar Kamara is more defensive, but really good because he's better than both. There you go. Renato Sanchez is available, 30 million. Roy, what's your thoughts on Pellegrini? I really hope that Pellegrini is the future, because that's what he is. Pellegrini is the future. Pellegrini is only 20 years old. It's crazy because this name has been circulated for such a long time, kind of like Donnarumma. It feels like these players have been here forever, but these players, started when they were teenagers. We know that the players that start as teenagers in the Serie A tend to become huge players. And there's a bunch of examples. Totti, Maldini, etc. So Pellegrini, obviously we haven't seen enough of him to see what he's capable of doing. We have to see him play from the beginning, and we have to see him in a lot, because his position is a position where you don't get the ball a lot. As a center forward, you don't get the ball. You're not fed a lot as much as the midfielders or as much as the wingers. But his movements and his running, his ability to he's very fast. He's very fast, and I saw him recover a few balls from the midfield. His passing, he looks composed when he passes the ball. Physically, the guy is a super athlete. He's literally a super athlete for a 20-year-old. I think his future. I hope his future is bright. I hope he starts scoring goals, and I hope he becomes one of Italy's best strikers. This is the thing. Like, he could become the next Italian best striker. We don't know. We don't know because he's only 20. He has theoretically 15 to 16 years in front of him. That's a lot. That's a whole career. That's more than the average football career. So the guy literally just started, and he already has 4 years of experience in the big leagues. Krunic equals Bosnian Iniesta, says Joel. If we win the Scudetto, we can sign Renato. If we win the Scudetto, guys, then we have to win it again. We have to win it again. We have to, in these next 3 years, we have to win 2 Scudettis, guys. This is it. This is it. We have to win 2 Scudettis. All right, guys. Krunic has improved, and the team has now adopted to Pioli's system. Our midfield is solid, in with Benasan Cassie leaving for AFCON. Krunic is adapted to a more deep-line midfield role. All right, guys. Let's get to some tactics. And let's talk about Pioli's idea of tactics and what it has developed into. Okay, hold on. And I have some video for you too. Let's see if YouTube. By the way, guys, what's happening with all the social medias today, huh? Major hack. What is going on? Anybody in the tech world knows what's going on? None of the social medias work. Something is up. We don't know what's going on. Something crazy is happening. Major hacking. All right, guys. So what I want to talk about tactically from what we're seeing from Pioli today is how he has created a system that is so unpredictable. And that is such an awesome thing. And we saw it. We saw the beginning of it. We saw the beginning of it in the summer, in the friendlies against Nice, against who did we play in the summer? Valencia. We saw it against Real Madrid, and we saw it even against those smaller teams that we played in the beginning. And it was a different system, something different. Pioli has been cooking up something very interesting. He's been doing something very interesting. So let's do this, guys. I'm going to go and we're going to do a nice interval. We're going to do a nice interval, 1 minute interval, and then we're going to get into tactics. All right, guys. By the way, guys, please like, subscribe, do whatever you got to do to help the channel grow. Someone from FB Within has about to whistleblow and all about FB said take it down. That's what I heard. What? Really? Okay. All right, guys. So we're going to just take a 1 minute break, and then we're going to get into tactics. And we'll see you in 1 minute. All right, guys, we are back. We had to take a short break to get my tea warmed up. It got cold, so and I'll be doing that. I'll be taking intervals, etc., etc. Okay, guys, let's talk about tactics. Let's talk about tactics. Um, I thought I heard. Okay, guys, so let's talk about tactics. Let's talk about tactics. What did we see? Let's turn back the time. Let's go back in time, because it all starts from I believe it was Lazio Milan, 3-0 for Lazio. And after that game, where Inzaghi completely dismantled Pioli, just outclassed Pioli, outsmarted Pioli, and he read our team like a child's book, and completely destroyed our play, and they attacked in a way that we weren't able to defend. That was the key point where Pioli said, okay, I got to change things. And then we had the Juventus game. I believe that was the sequence, or there was a game in between them, the Juventus game. And but that's when it started. That's when we saw Pioli make these different decisions. So now we're going back into last season, and what Pioli did there against Juve, in particular, because that's when we saw the big change against Juve. And we're going to start from there and look at the evolution. And then we're going to bring that evolution to today, because today, what happened yesterday, was the result of that evolution. And I will show you guys. I have the receipts. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. All right, so let's talk tactics, guys. Let's remember, we don't need to worry about the what happens in the offense, but the defense, the way we build and why we build. So against Juventus, Pioli deploys a 3-man back with a tip of a diamond on top. All right. So that's how Pioli decided to build from then on, sacrificing Calabria. And how brilliant is this? Sacrificing Calabria. As a matter of fact, from that game onwards, we didn't see much of Calabria. We didn't see much of Calabria in offensive plays. So he kept Calabria in the back, and basically, in the moments that the team was building from the goalkeeper, at the time Donnarumma, so Donnarumma plays it to the defenders. In that moment, you had Theo Hernandez move up in the line of 5. And basically, Milan looked something like this when they attacked after that Juventus game. They had 5 players in the middle that kind of interchanged positions, and then you had the center forward that was either interchanged or it was a very dynamic, flowing play. And then you had the reset, which was at that time it was Benacer. And then you had the 3 defenders that would always stay there in position, waiting to reset the game, right? And that was a very solid way of constructing the team. It's a very solid tactic. It's not a genius tactic. It's a normal tactic. It's a normal tactic to build. It's the ingenuity in it. It's cool that in the development of that tactic, you are seeing how the fullback becomes a winger, and you're seeing how the other fullback becomes a central defender. So this is how Pioli pretty much played against Juventus. Then he played the same way against Torino, and then he played the same way against Cagliari, and it didn't work. And then I think I don't know if I'm missing the games. And then he played, and then with Atalanta, it was a similar system, as in Calabria was the sacrificial lamb again, but against Atalanta, Atalanta squashed us. So we had to try and catch them in counterattack plays. But we still had that concept of 3. So then, guys, what happens? We go into the summer break. The season is done. Second place has achieved. The coaching staff gets together. They go over all the games. They go over all the tactics, and they come up with an ingenious way to make this team unpredictable. and they study a genius formation, in my opinion, because I've never seen this before. And I think that this is something that we're going to start seeing a lot from many other teams soon. So what does a Pioli do? Pioli decides that, his team is a little bit too predictable. And by sacrificing a player like Calabria, who has a great offensive output, you're also sacrificing more options to attack. So what does he say? What does he think? Let's try and see what he thought and what was in his mind. He said, okay, so what I'll do, I'll create a system in which the pivots are going to interswitch with the fullbacks in build-up. So both fullbacks are already up the field. And the winger on the right becomes a central attacking midfielder, Salamakers. So all of a sudden, by building this way, I have a lot of defensive cover, meaning I have two center backs, and a defensive midfielder on the defensive line, or two center backs and two defensive midfielders on the center line. So you have a very solid defensive line building the play, and you're deploying all your attacking players forward. It's an ingenious way, and every time it switches, every time it's different, so that the opponent does not know what they're going to. If you mark that zonal, one time you're going to be marking Theo Hernandez, the other time you're going to be marking Kessie. One time you're going to be marking Salamakers, the other time you're going to be marking Tonali. And so you don't have a reference point. You don't have points that you can latch onto. It's always going to be different. The game is going to come at you always in a different fashion. This is next level football, guys. This is next level football. This is absolutely brilliant. And I will show you guys, how this kind of football, the result of this football that Pioli created. Okay, so then we start seeing in the summer, right? We start seeing Milan going back to building at 3 against Nice, against Valencia. And this is where we saw it first. Tonali, all of a sudden, when he was playing, he was in the defensive line. Calabria was up, and then Pobega was the tip of the diamond. And we're asking ourselves, wow, okay, that's new, that's strange. And then we're asking, I wonder why he's doing that. We're kind of trying to figure out what was going on. And then we started to see it more. We started to see it even in a defensive posture of 4, where both midfielders take the positions of the fullbacks, and the fullbacks have now freedom to go forward. And then, guys, check it out. Salamakers goes in, and you have 3 midfielders here with the two defensive midfielders that come back up. Once the ball is back up, the 2 midfielders do come back. They don't stay in position. The only 2 players that stay in position are Chiar and Tomori. The 2 midfielders come back in or out. They play wherever they're needed. And so basically Milan right now is attacking. Essentially, when they attack, they're attacking with a packed they're attacking everybody minus the 2 central defenders. Now, this solution does have a problem. There is a big weakness in the solution. The weakness in the solution is that there's a let's say a soft spot, which actually we saw yesterday against Atalanta. If you lose the ball after the fullbacks have already done their motion, and the central midfielders are still transitioning into the next position, then you can be caught. You can be caught for counterattacks. So that is a little weakness. A little water is leaking there. We saw it yesterday. Rebic losing the ball in a very dangerous area after the whole team was already up top, and then that him losing the ball allowed Ilicic to find the winger, who had a lot of space here. And then that play just led to a goal. It is what it is. So there is a little bit of weaknesses, but everybody's going to make mistakes. Everybody, no game is absolutely perfect from from minute 1 till minute 95. So, it's not that much of a big deal, to be honest with you. The important thing is that when you attack, you're unpredictable. Therefore, the teams that are trying to defend you don't know how to defend you. And you're going to score, you're going to create goals, and then Milan has a very good defensive shape. I'm not going to talk so much today about the defensive shape. I'm going to just talk about the offensive shape. All right, so now let's watch this video, guys. I want to show you exactly a tactic that Pioli has been working on, and I want to show you how it worked in Calabria's goal. All right, so let's do that. Let's watch Calabria's goal. Okay, give me a second here. One second, guys. Let me set all of this up. Let's set this up. All right. Okay. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Here we go. Calabria's goal was a masterclass. Yes, it was absolutely brilliant. But really, we're not going to be looking at the goal. We're going to be looking at the team, right? Because that's what you want to look at. If you want to read how a coach deploys his tactics, you have to look at what's happening when the ball, the players that don't have the ball. All right, so let's see if we got it. Okay. All right, let me get rid of this. And here we go. Guys, now I want you to look at the positions of the players. And we're going to go a play-by-play here as we're going to study this really cool tactical deployment that Pioli has created. And we see it perfectly. The reason why I wanted to start from the beginning is because today we've come to the maximum fruition of what this tactic produced. All right, here we go. Okay, so let's notice right away how the team is placed. So right now, they're recovering ball from the defense. They're resetting the play from the defense and going back up. So let's look at the positions here. We have, I believe that is Tonali right there in the middle. We have Kessie right here. We have here Calabria. I'm not sure whether this is Tonali or Calabria. That is Kjaer, and we have Tomori, and then we have Magnan. All right, and then we have Teo Hernandez right here. Okay, so now keep your eyes on this. Magnan and Tomori are playing the ball together. They're passing the ball together, and look at Teo Hernandez, who is in his left back position. And now pay attention to Kessie, who is in the central defensive midfield position. And pay attention to this space right here. Who's supposed to be in that space? Who is supposed to be in that space? The other central defender, so Tomori. But Tomori is here in a deep line left back position. So let's look at this. Tomori, Magnan play together. And now look at that. Look at that. Teo Hernandez is moving inside the field, taking on Kessie's position. And Kessie goes back into the defensive central back position. So basically the four now, Tomori is your left back, Kessie is your center back, Kjaer is your center back, and Teo Hernandez is moving in the middle. Okay? And guess what? Look at what else is happening at the same time. That's Tonali right there. That's Tonali in the top corner. Tonali is moving into the right back position. As he's doing that, Calabria is moving up the field and Salamakers is moving inside the field. This is absolutely brilliant football, guys. And then Kessie, who does he find? With a beautiful vertical pass, Salah makers, guys. Look at who the two defensive midfielders are in this position now. That is your line of four in the back. Tonali in the right back position, Kjaer in the center back position, Kessie in the other center back position, and Tomori in the left back position. And the two pivots are Theo Hernandez and Salamakers. And Calabria is in Salamakers' position right now. This is the unpredictability. This is the unpredictability of how this system works, which is absolutely brilliant. So now Salamakers passes it to. Now look at the game. Look at the play. You have Rebic here, the center forward, in his position. You have Calabria that has taken the position of the right winger, where Salamakers, and then you have Leao here on the left wing. So the team up top, and Diaz here in second striker or attacking midfield. So the team up top is exactly the same, but there's been this interchange of positions that gives all the space to Theo Hernandez. Theo Hernandez, what is he good at? He's good at running at you. And the guy is running at you straight from the middle of the field. He goes forward, and there with the perfect through ball, finding Calabria. Now Calabria, literally you had the left back turn in. The left back turn into your pivot offensive, and then you had your right back turn into your right winger, and basically the left back and the right winger connected together for the goal. There you go, guys. That is literally the result of this brilliant formation. So I give Pioli a lot of credit. In the ability to create such a dynamic and flowing system. And guys, I bet to you that you are going to see a lot of this from other teams doing this, not just in Italy, but everywhere. Because this is, I mean, honestly, I haven't seen much of that. I in my life watching football, I haven't seen much of that kind of interchange play. And the reason why it's done that way, and how the team builds in a forward motion like that, it's very, very interesting. It's actually very, very interesting. Let's look at it one more time. And you have to give credit to Pioli. This is absolutely, yes, I am trained. A brilliant maneuver created and by Pioli. And I think that a tactic like this is big team tactic, like big team tactic. You can call it, yeah, similar to a total football, but total football was a little bit more. Total football was actually more unpredictable, maybe, but this one here is somewhat of a total football, but it's how it's always the fullbacks and the double pivots. So that is those four players are the ones that are as brilliant as the 6-3-1-2. Well, actually, hold on. Hold on, let me get that video one more time. It's Milan football, guys. It's Milan football. They have been trying ever since the Liverpool game. The teams facing teams like Juve and Inter have been trying to play more forward attacking football. The only issue is they always sit back after. The thing about this style of football is that Juventus is not playing like this. And never Liverpool did not play like this. I have not seen many teams play like this, actually. I think this is the first time I've ever seen this, to be honest with you. It's a very interesting tactic. Let's look at it one more time. I got it ready this time. Okay. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Italian teams seem to have been inspired by Milan. Well, yeah, I mean, they should be. They should be because I think it's time that football in general in Italy becomes more offensive, more courageous. Defensive football, can only take you so far. Guys, I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. Okay, we're back. We're back. No problem. No problem. So yeah, I think Italian teams not need to start playing more offensive football, a more courageous football. And listen, this brings me to the next video that I wanted to show, which goes back to how AC Milan defended against Atletico Madrid, which turned out to be the worst conversation in the world. Honestly, that was torture for me and for a lot of people. It was really, really torturous. But I want to show you what Atalanta did when they were a man down and they took a similar posture to AC Milan. Atalanta did it in a very, I gotta say, in a much more creative way than we did it. And we're gonna look at that. Hold on. Just a little bit of tactics, just to see how other teams interpret their tactics, how different coaches interpret their tactics. And now, because that game to me, guys, it's a mathematical equations and all that crap. It's still in my head. Okay, I haven't let go. I have not let go. It is what it is. So I want to show you what Atalanta did in a similar position, which I think was a little bit more creative. Here we go. Okay, so now in this sequence here, this is when Pessina got injured and he was off the field, and then Atalanta went for a few minutes this very defensive posture where Milan they invited Milan in their own half, and Atalanta kind of looked like AC Milan against Atletico Madrid in the second half. And but I want you to look at how they interpreted that formation. So right now, Atalanta is in a 5-4. You can see the four lines. You can see Zapata now basically on the line of the midfield. But I want you to look at that there. As Brahim Diaz broke through the lines, the midfielder came back and marked him. And look at this. Look at this. This is very brilliant. This is Gasperini. You got to give it to Gasperini. Okay. And now look at this. Look at this. All right. So now all the players are marked. You have this player here. He's probably going to come out in this space. And then you have Tomori. Those are your two options. Maybe you can go there. Okay, right there. Instead, this player comes in, and what does this guy? He breaks from the defensive line, and he chases the player in the middle. So now that defensive line of, I think it was 6, now becomes a defensive line of 5, and the midfield becomes, again, right now in a 3-1, but that's more a 4 because all 4 are playing as midfielders. You see how he chased him out? How this player here chases him out, covers him, and then goes back in the line. And right now they're defending in a 4-4-1, taking out Milan. And also look at how deep the player follows Leao right there. You see how deep the player followed Leao? That's how the line broke from a 5-3-1 to a 4-4-1, because they're chasing up the player. So maybe this is something that Pioli should look at, because this is definitely a much smarter way of deploying that tactic. As a matter of fact, it's pushing Milan back. It's not giving Milan forward options. It's pushing Milan back. Now then Tomori goes around. And you see there, once again, the player is coming out, the central defender is chasing the player. Guys, Gasperini knows what he's doing. Now, they did not just happen to get themselves in this organized posture. They knew exactly. The moment that Pessina was out, Gasperini said, okay, tactic XBL. And that's what they did. And the way they play 10 against 11 with that defensive posture is a much smarter way than how we played it for about 35 minutes. You see, he follows him, so there doesn't give him the option, and it forces Milan to keep on playing in the periphery, not go through. And Milan now is far from the goal. Even though they're playing a defensive posture, Milan is far from goal, but also Milan right now is not really pushing as much too. And that's when Salamakers makes a mistake. So that was a very interesting way of seeing another team interpret a similar tactic and how different coaches operate, different coaches think. This here, to me, shows me that Gasperini is a little bit smarter when it comes to covering, Pioli a little bit more unexperienced. But when it comes to the offensive game, Pioli right now seems to have something over Gasperini, while Gasperini seems to be quite predictable. So interesting thing to look at there. All right. Gasperini spent the whole 45 minutes to wonder what was Theo doing in the middle. Yeah, Roy, this is what we've been saying when talking about players being dynamic enough to interchange positions. In Italy, tactics are old. Pioli is a guy to bring the new meta to Italy. Well, him, Gasperini, De Zerbi, you need a lot of coaches. You need coaches with courage. And let's look at, speaking of courage, let's look at Sacchi, guys. Sacchi is the Yoda of fucking Milan, guys. He is the Yoda. What he says, that's what you do. Why do you want to listen to what Sacchi says? Because Sacchi is the one that found that key to make Milan a team that, after Sacchi's reign, got into the finals of the Champions League 8 times. Sacchi brought to Milan an idea of football, of courage, of offense, of going forward, believing till the end. And this is something Maldini always says. Maldini always uses this word, believe. You got to believe. Everything is possible. You have to believe. And that comes from that old school mentality that Sacchi brought to the table. And it's crazy how Sacchi also criticized Pioli, but Sacchi said that he should have played a 5-3-2. That is even more courageous than 5-3-2. It shows how much courage this man has, and how much courage he gave to transmit it to his players. I mean, of course, he had some of the greatest players, but a lot of those players were created in AC Milan. Those were players that were coached and groomed by AC Milan. Then, of course, you had Gullit, who had just won a Ballon d'Or in '88, I think, and then he joined Milan. Then you had Van Basten, won 3 Ballon d'Ors, and then you had Rijkaard, who was one of the best midfielders. Of course, that's the management, the owners buying the best players. But I mean, guys, look at PSG today. Look at PSG today. I mean, PSG with those players, you need to have a special coach. You need to have a special coach in order to make these teams function. And Sacchi was a special coach, and that DNA, Sacchi has a big part in the AC Milan DNA. This DNA of courage, this DNA of going all out, all in, put all your cards in the table. Either we lose with our chin up, we win with our chin up, and we lose with our chin up. That was this mentality that Sacchi brought to the table, and that mentality must not be forgotten. It must not be forgotten, because Ancelotti did the exact same thing. He brought that mentality to the table. This mentality of playing football, offensive football, going at it, entertain your crowd while you beat your opponent. It takes a lot of courage to entertain the crowd as you beat your opponent. And that must not be lost. That must be in AC Milan's DNA forever, because that is what us fans, that's what generates the love from us fans. That's what we want to see, and this energy gets it gets transmitted to the Milan, the players, and everything else, and they feel it. Sacchi also put Milan's legendary backline Rossi, Baresi, Maldini, Costa Curta, and Tassotti again, all Milan's attackers and midfielders in training. That was hella crazy training. Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Imagine doing training every single day against Baresi, Maldini, Costa Curta, and Tassotti. Yeah, Albertini, Maldini, Simone, Tassotti, Massari, and Baresi became great under Sacchi. Yes, exactly. Those players there grew incredibly, incredibly. Then Sacchi got a little bit unlucky in the World Cup. He got to a final of the World Cup. Again, there, showing a lot of courage in how he played. Brazil was really good, though. In that final, Baggio and Baresi were half injured. Baggio, of course, missing that famous penalty. But Sacchi in that period was very inspired, and he definitely touched Italian football, and what he did with AC Milan created a movement that should not be forgotten. The man is Yoda. The man is Yoda. Roy, a bit out of topic. You lived in Italy before you have origins from around curious. Ruud Gullit won the Ballon d'Or while playing for me. Okay, so he won the Ballon d'Or while playing for Milan in '88. He won the Ballon d'Or, and he was playing for Milan. Came from PSO. Since Pioli is breaking all the records with Milan, can he go unbeaten this season? What do you believe, Roy? What do I believe? Can Pioli go unbeaten? Can Pioli go unbeaten? No, I don't think so. I think our team is not that. I mean, that's it. Okay, let's say this. If he does that, I'd be incredibly surprised. I think an unbeaten team, you need to have a super, super duper, super duper, super duper tight defense. Because unbeaten means a lot of ties, a lot of 0-0s, winning 1-0, 1-1. Do we have the defense that we had in the early '90s? I don't know. I mean, I do want to say that Tomori kind of reminds me of Baresi. Kjaer is Kjaer. I don't think we've ever Kjaer is Kjaer. Calabria, is he that level? He has to show it. Unless he shows it, I can't say it. Teo Hernandez. Now, Teo Hernandez is a guy that stacks up the stats and assists, but Teo Hernandez, just because of how tactically he is deployed, he leaves a lot of space in that area. As a matter of fact, we got scored on the counterattack in that area, but that wasn't Teo Hernandez's fault. But that area there, no, I don't think so. I think this season. We will. Sooner or later, we're going to lose a game. I don't think. If that happens, Milanista, I'll be surprised. 1987 was when Gullit won the Ballon d'Or. Just started watching. Love listening to you, Roy. Keep it up. Thank you, Bilal from Manchester. How many Ballon d'Ors do we have in our history? So we have, what was the Italian guy? Gigi Riva or Rivera. Was it Rivera or Riva? We have Riva. Gianni Rivera. That was one. Then we had Gullit 1. Van Basten 3. Georges Weah. So that's, hold on. Gianni Rivera 1. Gullit 2. Van Basten 5. Georges Weah 6. Shevchenko 7. Kaká 8. And then we had other players. We had Papin that won the Ballon d'Or, but not with us. We had Baggio won the Ballon d'Or, but not with us. We had Ronaldinho won the Ballon d'Or, but not with us. Ronaldo, but not with us. Maybe we should have had players that were deserving of a Ballon d'Or. Maldini deserving of a Ballon d'Or, for sure. Okay, all right, guys. So let's see. Rivaldo never played for won the Ballon d'Or, but did not win it with us, but won the Ballon d'Or. Yeah. So okay, guys, let's do a few more comments, and then let's just go over what we said today, all the beautiful things. Just do a quick summary. 9 since Leao wins the Ballon d'Or this year. 9 guys. Leao. Let's talk a little bit about Leao. Leao developing into a fantastic football player, absolutely fantastic. And I was really, because honestly, last year some of his antics, which I don't mind to be honest with you, kind of led me to believe that maybe he wasn't going to be very professional in this sport, meaning he is going to dedicate himself, but not at 100%. It felt like, music is a big part of his life, and he wants to do a little bit of that. So the vibes I was getting from Leao last year were that aspect was just, it wasn't worrying me. It was just making me wonder, is he going to, really dedicate himself to the craft of football? And this year, it looks like he has, because he's playing with a level of maturity that is of a professional football player, meaning he sacrifices himself for the cause. And a professional football player, that's what they do. They sacrifice themselves for the cause. He goes beyond his limits, his physical limits of fatigue, in order to help the team in the defensive posture. And his power burst in the short spaces are much more effective, as I think Ari said yesterday. By the way, guys, Ari put out a great reaction video. Go like that video. Go and leave a comment. Say hi to Ari. And then goals. He's scoring big goals. Not only big goals, but nice goals. He scored a really big goal against Atletico Madrid. Very nice goal. He scored a beautiful goal against Atalanta, big team. He was involved in the Liverpool game in both goals, I believe he was involved. And I'm sure I'm missing some. So Leao is already stacking up the stats. But what is the most important thing about Leao is that his sacrifice, and he is doing that really well right now. And that is a great thing to have. As a matter of fact, I think that one of the reasons why Milan is playing so well is because Leao is sacrificing himself that way. So yeah, Leao turning out to be a great player. Really seems to be turning into an exquisite professional. All right. In my opinion, Leao is the best player we have. The talent behind the man is way too much. He's a Ronaldinho kind of player. He just wants to be the best and work hard. If he wants to be recognized as the new Ronaldinho or the new Ballon d'Or, it's up to him. It's up to him. He has to work his ass off. And to be honest, to be fair, right now it looks like that's what he's doing. He scored against Atletico, yeah. Who did he had another goal in the Serie A, I think. Magic Mike, Tomori, Tonali, Leon Diaz, they have all turned up to be matured very well. I would also put Salamakers in there, and I would also put Krunic in there, and I would also put Benacer. Guys, Benacer right now, I mean, yes, 100% Bilal. I think I honestly cannot find one player that has not improved from last year. I mean, minus Kessie, but again, I will believe Pioli. Pioli said it's just a matter of fitness, of form, and once he gets that form, we'll see Kessie plus maybe a level up. So I'm gonna go with Pioli's narrative for now, and we'll see if it's true. We need to work on the renewals. Oh my God, that's a Milan forum kind of conversation, guys. By the way, stay tuned to our Milan forums every Friday. Every Friday, Milan forum. And then we have our post matches with Laert. Laert was not available this time, so we did not do the post match. Maybe Laert is going to do a post match for the Atalanta game, open live discussion this week. Maybe we'll see. Um, we will see. But as far as other content coming out, we're going to do the forum, maybe a post match, and then we are going to be following the the Nations League, which is a very intriguing tournament. Since you're from Manchester, surely you have an idea how realistic is a Martial transfer, since he doesn't have a future at United and his price dropped down a lot. Martial at AC Milan would be a good fit, I think. Milan is a perfect ground for him to develop too. Let's hope it's not only the perfect ground for him to develop, but it's the perfect ground for him to stay and achieve. Pioli in there, because right now Milan looks like the top college in football right now. Milan right now in the world looks like the top university of football. All youngsters, college with the years of a college student, playing in AC Milan. But once they once they get a certain age, the club needs to be able to keep them. Pioli in there, yeah, Pioli has matured really well, and we went through Pioli's tactical system, which is absolutely brilliant. We'll do it one more time later. Theo as well, yeah, Theo, Calabria. We said Krunic, Rebic also. Remember, Rebic is a player that we have been saying for a lot of months. Rebic only shows up the second half of the season. Well, this season, Rebic has been on point from the get-go. He has not missed a match in which he wasn't a key player in the squad. So Rebic has definitely showed an improvement from what the narrative is surrounding him. Pioli also did his development as a coach with Milan. Okay, I did not know that. Very interesting. Guys, that's very cool information. I did not know that. He used to be amazing, plus United's way of playing isn't the most ideal for strikers. We're talking about Martial. we get it. Pioli is the second coming of Christ. Safe, we have Lau at left wing. He has the talent, but he's an unfortunate story of talent not reaching his potential. We were linked with a right wing canvas summer from Brest, which is my preference. Well, guys, I don't know. I'm not sure what the convo is going on there, but Leao to me is Milan. Leao for me looks like he was a great investment, and we should definitely keep him. We should 100% definitely keep him. All right, guys. So Messias and Pellegrini, losers, no hope. Wow. Well, Messias, guys. Messias, honestly, his he looked really good to me, guys. He looked really good to me. Just really, you can tell how good a player is by his touch and the way he moves on the field, his confidence, and the way he carries himself on the field. To me, Messias looked like he's fit, looked like he's in a good athletic shape. He had some moments of power burst where he took on the players and surpassed them with speed. And he had some really, really good touches. He had a sombrero. He had one touch, sombrero passes. He was involved in the goal, in Leao's goal. He started the play. He passed it to Leao to Theo Hernandez. When Hernandez came up, Messias overlapped Leao and then went to his side, to the left side of Messias, as Theo Hernandez was running through the middle with the ball, Messias overlapped Theo Hernandez and then moved his way towards the left. And then when Theo passed the ball to Leao, Messias' awareness was excellent because he knew if the play was going fast, and it's a matter of inches, matter of milliseconds. Messias knew he was in an offside position, put his arms up, said, "I'm not part of this play." He let the ball go, and the one player that was onside, Leao, with a beautiful curling shot to the top right corner. So Messias, so far, so good, guys. He's only played what 15 minutes, I think, and he was already involved in a goal, and he's also cause of a goal, though. You can say that's maybe a negative blemish. We talked about that earlier. The handball was him tackling the block, but that was unlucky. Guys, I'm very happy with it so far. For me, Messias looks really good. He looks really good. Bilal says, remember Tonali looked poor last season. Kessie first season was bad. Game us, yeah, of course, guys. Again, and remember, Messias is 30. He's 30 years old. A 30-year-old player. I mean, our 30-year-old player already should have the maturity to adapt, the maturity to understand his role and et cetera, et cetera. But he looks fit, because then you want to ask yourself, how come Florenzi has not had a major impact on the team? But Florenzi obviously has some physical problems, and now Florenzi, we lost him for a month. At this point, guys, if Florenzi has a very long uphill battle to gain form again and become an effective player, this injury here might cause him problems. And yes, sir, we do have Ali coming in. Roy, what's up, Nonso? How you doing, Nonso? We need a new striker. Julian Ibra won't do much for us because of age. Would you take? Of course, man. I would take Belotti right away. Are you, man? Not even no joke, guys. I would take Belotti in a heartbeat. The player is an absolute killer in a context in which he is comfortable, and he's 27. You know, he's that perfect age. He's that perfect age where you can exploit his prime physical abilities. And the best part of it, he is free. That you can't. Now, Icardi, I don't know. Icardi, I think he's a little bit off our radar as far as wages and all that stuff. But Belotti is a realistic target for the wages that he's going to ask, and he's a player that deserves a stage. He deserves to be playing consistently in a big team and develop his football with a big team and give him big stages to compete, because that's where I think he can shine. Remember, we got Ali, Tonali, and Benacer are solid. I don't mind if Kessie leaves. Well, how about we have Tonali, Benacer, and Kessie being solid? I think that would be the best solution. Remember, we got Ali too. Messias showed his confidence with the ball and the fact that he doesn't stress. He's a hungry guy in terms of, yeah, he did show confidence, and he showed that he doesn't suffer pressure. That was a big game. Atalanta, he doesn't suffer pressure. Milanista I would like Vlahovic and guys, Colombo, guys. Mamma mia, ragazzi, ma Colombo cos'è? Colombo, guys, is scoring some crazy goals, guys. Some insane goals. Absolutely insane goals for Spal. Yeah, he is scoring some insane goals for Spal, and man, guys, imagine if in the next years we develop Pellegrini and Colombo, two potentially the best upcoming strikers in Italy. Imagine having them both. Imagine having both, Del Piero and Totti, for example, your two best center attacking midfielders, second strikers. But Italy now, I mean, Milan, maybe this is a little bit of a fantasy. Of course, I'm just dreaming a little bit. Imagine if Milan in the next years is able to develop Pellegrini, who has been a prospect since he was 16, and he's been in the under 21s, under 20, and Colombo, who right now is just destroying. And these two become Italy's next center forwards, and they're both with AC Milan. Wow, that would be a nice dream, but we'll see. Can we see Plizzai this season playing? I don't know, man. Plizzai seems to be getting injured by not playing. What's up with Insta and what's up? Yeah, guys, the social media world for some reason is not working. You mean Del Piero and Vieri? Well, no, I mean Vieri is a center forward. Del Piero is a second striker. I said Del Piero and Totti because we're both creative attackers. But I'm just saying Pellegrini is a center forward. Colombo is a center forward. So imagine have two of the best. Imagine having Vieri and Inzaghi in your team, develop in their prime. There. That's a better comparison. Yes. So Messias, guys. I liked what I saw. I think Messias did an excellent job yesterday. So we are there. All right, guys. So let's start to go towards the end of the stream. First of all, please, everybody, like and vote, guys. Vote, because we are going to finish with that, with a poll. Is Milan a title contender? 100% yes. Too soon to say. No. Napoli and Inter are better. Milan needs to just focus on top four. So if you haven't voted, make sure you vote, and we can finish with that topic. In the meantime, guys, quick summary of everything we looked at today. So we spoke about Atalanta, Milan, a game in which Milan just completely dominated. And when we speak about tactics, we're talking about this system in which Pioli has been developing. And guys, from now on, when you watch the games, pay attention to that. Pay attention to how the double pivots switch with the fullbacks. And when that happens, the whole team just moves around like a crazy tornado, and it's impossible to predict. So one more time, guys, let's just go over that one more time. That was the heart of today's stream. So it's only correct to just look at it one more time. All right. Okay. So one more time, guys. We're going to do this last time. Then we're going to look at the poll, and we are going to conclude with the poll and then last comments. So AC Milan, a dynamic style of football, in which the pivots interchange with the fullbacks, and I think yesterday we saw the fruition of this movement producing a goal. So here we go. Okay, Tomori on the left back. There it is. Theo Hernandez and Kessie switching roles. Kessie doing, but the most beautiful aspect of this, again, guys, is keep your eyes on Tonali, because Tonali is going to go there and cover for Calabria. And then Calabria at this point is moving up. And picture in your head, guys, Salamakers doing a nice cut inside, taking Tonali's position. So Salamakers is taking Tonali's position, Tonali is taking Calabria's position, and Calabria is taking Salamakers' position. So picture that in your head off the screen. That is what is happening. And now, as you can see, at this moment in time, off the screen, Salamakers has taken Tonali's position, and Theo Hernandez is getting into Kessie's position. Kessie is into Tomori's position. Tomori is in Theo Hernandez's position. It is insane. Yes, total football. Here we go. Nice vertical pass. And who does it get to? Right there in the middle of the park, Salamakers. Salamakers taking the double pivot role. Salamakers being where Tonali is supposed to be. Tonali right there in the left back position, and Calabria right here in Salamakers' position in the right wing. And then what does he do? Salamakers feed Theo Hernandez. Theo Hernandez using his greatest weapon, meaning his ability to run at you with the ball, and he does that from a central position. And then not only he does that with a central position, but a beautiful timed through ball through that channel, finding Calabria, who you can say is a little bit lucky, because I don't think he shoots the ball The Atalanta midfielder slide tackles the ball into the goalkeeper, and then Calabria gets the deflection. But the through pass, the weight of it is perfect. Calabria's run is perfect. Right there, touches the ball. And maybe, oh yeah, I guess he does take a shot. And then here, the goalkeeper deflects the ball. Really poor by the goalkeeper there. I mean, that was not a hard shot, actually. That was not a hard shot there. Not to take away any credit from Calabria and AC Milan. That was a pretty soft shot, guys. The ball is bobbling. This is actually a really bad goalkeeping error. This is a terrible goalkeeping error. I mean, look at the power of the shot. Let's be objective here. Look at the power of that shot right there. I mean, that is a terrible goalkeeping mistake. That is literally like a professional goalkeeper should not be doing that. But doesn't matter. We'll take it. We'll take the goal. Calabria puts it in the net, and the team is celebrating. Il Capitano scores the goal. So there you have it, guys. That was the gist of today's stream. The ability, this incredible tactic that Milan has of interchanging positions and becoming unpredictable. Remember, guys, what is the most dangerous predator? The most dangerous predator is the one that you can't see. And that is what Milan is doing. You can't see what Milan can do. Atalanta have a deadly system, and the fact that Pioli made him look like Salernitana for 85 minutes is impressive tactically. Yes, you can say that. Yeah. All right, guys. So let's take this to the last, to the end. We're just going to look at this poll here. We're going to close, guys. We're going to close the votes. We're going to be closing the votes, and then we're going to just be talking about this one last thing, and then that will be it for today's Tactical Solutions. Guys, everybody, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you guys in the chats, giving your opinions and following AC Milan and helping the channel grow, because the channel needs to grow. We need to grow. We need to become bigger, etc., etc. Ari now is finally back after a long hiatus in which work kind of wasn't giving him much time for him to dedicate himself. But now Ari is a little bit more, has found a system in which he can deliver more content. So we're going to be seeing a lot of Ari, and Laert, of course, is just he just was not available this weekend, but he is going to be back doing his post matches and other streams during the week based on Champions League and etc., etc. And guys, and also thank you to everybody that joins us during the live open discussions. We appreciate all you guys that come and join and give your opinions. All right, guys, let's close this poll. We're going to end the poll right now, and we're going to see what the results of the poll are. Is Milan a title contender? 83 votes today, 100% yes, 72% voted yes. Milan is 100% a title contender. So a huge difference there from the second, which was 19%. Too soon to say. So yeah, okay, let's hold the brakes a little bit. Milan just needs to focus on top 4%. Hey guys, if Milan makes top 4, I mean, we should be happy. We should be happy if Milan makes top 4. No, Napoli and Inter are better. Only 3%. So a very small minority out of the people that voted today think that Napoli and Inter are better, but a big majority thinks that Milan is a title contender. So there you go, guys. Let's look back in the past. At this point last season, AC Milan, I think, had the same amount of points. I think at this point last season, Milan had the same amount of points. But last season, if you asked me, can Milan win the Scudetto, I still would have put Inter and Juventus before Milan last year. At the same point of the season with the same exact amount of points. But this year, guys, I feel it. I don't know. I hope I'm not wrong. I hope I'm right. I hope the 72% of people that voted are right. But today, that 100%, yes, we are a title contender. We have the depth. We have the tactical solutions. We have the different players that can fill in the gaps when we need. We do have some weaknesses here and there. For example, if we want to talk about a weakness, let's talk about a weakness. So far, Balotelli, we haven't seen him play at a level in which we can say he is. We are confident in his ability to cover Teo's position. Other weakness, Florenzi. Florenzi, I suspected that Florenzi would take a little bit of time to adapt to the system, adapt to everything, the surroundings, and it was taking a little time. But also, in addition to that, his problems with his physique, and now he's under the knife. He's going to be out for a month plus trying to reintegrate him into the team. We're talking about 6 weeks, maybe 6 weeks, maybe guys. Before we see Florenzi at top level, we have to wait 8 or 9 weeks, which is just becoming further and further. So now already we have two slight weaknesses here. Balotelli, just we got to see him play a full game. We got to see what he looks like. I mean, against Venezia, Balotelli looked decent in defense and in possession, but he doesn't have much of a punch. He doesn't have much of an offensive punch. And we saw that when Teo Hernandez came in, all of a sudden Milan was in Venezia's half, scoring goals. Then and those are the only two weaknesses, really. And then, okay, the other two weaknesses are Giroud and Ibrahimovic's age/injury situation. Ibrahimovic, guys, the man played 15 minutes and got injured again. He has missed right now nine games. I think he's played 8 games and 3 quarters so far since the season has started. So that is a weakness, because of Ibrahimovic on the field. A fit Ibrahimovic on the field is something that no other team has. Giroud, a player that does not have many injuries, all of a sudden is injured. Then, of course, Bakayoko, Krunic. According to Pioli's post-match interview yesterday, the whole team should be back in after the break, minus Florenzi. So minus Florenzi. So the whole team should be back. Of course, hopefully nobody gets hurt during the international break, because that's something to consider. Obviously, Kjaer is going to be in the international break. Tomori, finally in the England squad. Tonali in the under-21s. I don't know if Benacer and Kessie have been called up. I think so. Usually, yes. The whole world usually does the international breaks together, so I'm expecting the African teams to be doing the same. Then, as far as South American players, we don't have any South American players, I don't think. Messias is not in the national team. Romagnoli is going to be staying. Gabbia in the under-21s, most likely. Kalulu in the under-21s. Leao, maybe I'm assuming the under-21s. Teo Hernandez for France. I don't know if he got called up. Maybe Pellegrini also got called up for the under-21. I don't know. Bakayoko, Krunic are definitely staying at Milanello. Salamaker's most likely called up. Brahim Diaz, I think, did not get called up. Maybe from the under-21s. I don't know. I have to check. I should probably know. I should have this information, but I don't. So most of our players should be away, which also brings the risk of injuries. But the French coach has Hernandez as a midfield in the squad. Wow, interesting. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, according to Mr. Pioli, the whole team should be back, minus Florenzi, by the time the international break ends. So we covered everything we needed to cover today. He called up for PSG training. Skiller, that's a good comment. we covered everything that we needed to cover for today, guys. We went through those beautiful tactics. We even looked at how Atalanta deployed their defensive system when they're down a player and they want to play a very defensive posture. We spoke about Milan's ability to be a contender, guys. Right now, we have some epic games coming our way. Belgium, France. That's going to be an epic, epic battle. And then, of course, the 100-year-old rivalry, Italy versus Spain, ongoing rivalry will never end. Of Italy versus Spain, possession football against character, against character. So we will see. I will definitely be following those games. We will definitely be following that. And guys, once again, remember we're going to have a Milan forum on Friday. Maybe Laert is going to do Atalanta Milan post match during the week, since he wasn't able to do it. And then, of course, stay in touch for Ari's content. So, guys, that is it for today. I want to thank everybody that was here. Forza Milan. We get to. I'm assuming we're going to get a lot of propaganda coming out of the media during this period because of the mercato. We're going to be talking about contracts. We're going to be talking about players coming and going. Kessie is going to keep on being a topic of discussion. But we came out of the first tunnel victorious. The first tunnel of the Serie A has been absolutely fantastic. Now we move into the second tunnel after the break, where we have some games. Actually, guys, since I do have 5 more minutes, let's just look at the next upcoming AC Milan games, and let's do that. We got Pete Shoop in the house. We got Skillard, Hisham. All right. Here we go. All right. So we're going to spend the last minutes here on AC Milan's calendar. Ooh, that looks good. Man, that looks so good. Look at that. That's art, poetry. And we know those 2 goals shouldn't have been goals either. Those are the standings. Napoli at 21, AC Milan in that beautiful second spot at 19, only 2 points away. Goal difference 10, goal difference 15. Napoli with a good defensive record and also good score records. Inter behind us by 2 points. Roma behind us by 4 points. Then Fiorentina fifth, doing well at 12 points. So they're quite far from us. Nothing to worry about. Lazio 11, Juventus creeping back up at 11. Atalanta, guys, this was a huge loss for Atalanta at 11. Bologna 11, Empoli 9, having a good season. Torino 8, having an okay season. Hellas Verona 8, Udinese 8, Sassuolo 7. Take Locatelli out of that team, you take out the midfield, take out De Zerbi, you take out the courage. And right now, suffering. Sampdoria only 6, Genoa 5, where they usually are. Then the last 4, we have Venezia at 5. Venezia, by the way, the American kid scored to tie the game against, I don't remember who, Spezia, I believe, or Verona. Salernitana 4, Spezia 4, Cagliari 3. Cagliari 3. Not bad. How is the fantasy league? I'm not even following it anymore, man. Like, I think 4 out of the players that I put on in my team were injured this round, so I definitely screwed up there. Okay, now let's look at the calendar, and we'll finish with AC Milan's calendar. Let's see where is it? There it is. Schedules. Fixtures and results. Okay, so the next tunnel that Milan has to face in its trajectory towards the achievements that we are fighting for, the objectives that we're fighting for. We got AC Milan Verona, 16th of October. Verona, a team that is struggling to get points right now. So maybe we should definitely take advantage of that. Hopefully, we have a good squad. Then we have Bologna, AC Milan. Bologna in their at Bologna with a big result against Lazio. So do not take Bologna lightly. We have to watch out. And then we have AC Milan Torino. So these three games, guys, the objective has to be honestly 9 points. And I'm really happy that Pioli said, I think someone told me here that Pioli in an interview said that if you want to win the Scudetto, you have to get points from the smaller teams. And this run here of three teams is very important for the Scudetto. This run here is absolutely fundamental. So the team now needs to focus on their objectives. They need to focus on what they have to do. They have to focus on these games. You cannot get carried away that you beat Atalanta, that you beat a big team, that you were putting down Atletico Madrid. Do not get away with that. Do not have that confuse you or distract you. Right now, you got Verona, you got Bologna, you got Torino, teams that on paper are much weaker than AC Milan, but on the field, they can hurt you if you don't take them seriously. These are teams that can hurt you if you don't take them seriously. So AC Milan has to really, really take advantage of these three games. These have to be super focused. Tactics have to be perfect. And then, guys, we have this super tour de force coming up, which is Roma against Mourinho. And then we have Inter. And in between these two games, we have Porto. So we have three super league status kind of games coming up. Three Super League status kind of games. We have Roma, who is looking like a very serious team under Mourinho. Mourinho is doing a fantastic job with his players. Roma look like they're up for it. They want to finish in a good position this year. So we have to really, and we're playing in their own house. We have to look at that game. We have to play that game with seriousness. Then we have the game that is going to decide whether or not we have a chance to keep on going in the Champions League. We have the Porto Milan game, or is it Milan Porto? I don't know whether we're playing home or away, but that is going to be in this first phase of the season the most important game, because that game is going to decide our destiny, is going to decide our fate. If we win that game, we have a chance. If we lose that game, then we have no chance. At that point, it's really, we're 99% out of the Champions League. So we have a huge game against Roma, the biggest game so far, then against Porto, and then we have the derby. This game also a gigantic game because Inter is a direct opponent for the Scudetto. Inter is the direct opponent for the Scudetto. Let's remember this. We cannot allow Inter to win that second shirt before us. This is the game be in front of our fans where we make a stand and we put our nose in front and we play this game here. This game here has historical value. This game here has historical value. The meaning of this game is huge. It's literally museum like kind of, because of what it means with this race for the second star. And then we have Fiorentina right after that. I think there's another international break. There's the last international break there. Then we have Fiorentina, Sassuolo. We have some tough mid-table teams, but let's get there when we get there. Woo! Wow. This is for real, guys. This is for real. This is for real. All right, guys. So once again, thank you everybody for listening today. Much appreciated. Much love. Forza Milan, ragazzi. Forza Milan. Milan is looking amazing. Thank you for participating in Tactical Solutions. We will see you next time. Guys, everybody, thank you. Arrivederci. Alla prossima. Alla prossima. E sempre come sempre e per sempre. Forza Milan.